So as Red Red Robin reverberates around MS3 Craven Park, we await the arrival of the two sides. Rovers making 4 changes to the side that defeated St Helens last Friday. Out go Tumavave, Carlisle, Ollett and Cox. In comes Salter, Withers, Lovegrove and Jason Nefferton. Salford take the field, led out by Martin Gleeson, the former Huddersfield, Warrington Saints and Hull FC man. Joined today in commentary by Daniel Hanforth. Dan, good to see you back on HullKR.tv again. Rovers are in great form today. This is a must win. You can't afford to slip up against the side second from bottom in the table at home.
Afternoon, Rob. Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, on paper this is probably a given for Rovers, but as we know, Rob, stats mean nothing prior to a game. It's the stats within a game and what you do on the field that matters on the day. And Salford, they're a wounded side, aren't they? They've taken a bit of a beating. They're a bit of a joke side to some people in the league, with their chairman promising this, that and everything. But those 13 boys down there on the park are professionals, and they won't like that, and they'll want to put a performance in and prove to everybody that they're a team to be reckoned with. They do leak points, but boy, have they got some try scorers in their side as well, so it should be interesting to see what happens today. Perfect conditions to watch rugby, probably not to play. It's a bit hot, but as Rovers come out, you can only hope that Rovers can follow the copybook and the form book and put a win in.
Applause from all corners of the ground as the Robins take to the field. Rovers will look for the leadership and quality of Travis Burns and Michael Dobson to see them come out on top in this one. Absolutely sweltering conditions, so really is going to be energy sapping for both sets of players this afternoon. So injuries may play a part. If the side goes an interchange or two down, that could have a significant bearing on this game. It's going to be the man brought to the Salford City Reds from St Helens, Lee Gaskell, who'll get this game underway. He strikes it, it's long, that may sail out on the full. It has indeed, and that's a great start as far as Rovers are concerned. Graham Horn, was it, or Greg Eden, the man who just simply put the foot over the line, caught the ball, and Rovers get the penalty on halfway.
Yeah, it's a great start for Rovers, terrible start for Salford. That's not what you need at all, coming on the back of some heavy defeats. You really need to be setting your stall out and putting some good play in. But Rovers hopefully will build on this and look to post early points, hopefully.
So Rovers' first drive is by Corey Patterson. Rovers only 27 metres from the Salford line already. Early stages of this game. Hodgson just jinked and then offloaded to Adam Walker, who drives forward, has 3 Salford men in attendance. Hodgson again, finds Dobson, short pass, it's gone short, but Salford defensive wall was there, led by their skipper Stephen Wild, but Rovers are only 8 metres out. Burns delays the pass to Eden, finds Alex Brown, Brown going for the corner, but had to be forced inside away from the touchline, and that allowed the cover defence to get across. Still Rovers are asking the questions. Dobson finds Mika in centre field. Mika can't escape the clutches of the Salford defence. It's on the last, says Thierry Alibert. 1 tackle remaining. Dobson, will he look left? He's put the jinking kick in. It's bouncing around. It will beat everybody. So Salford survived the first threat on their line. Half a chance for Alex Brown in the corner. But they do have the ball now. 20-metre restart, but that's still a positive start from the Robins.
Yeah, that's the area to turn the ball over. If you're not going to get any points posted, then you've got to make the opposition bring the ball out from deep. Salford are in no great rush to get the restart going, as you might imagine on a hot day like this, Rob. But all positive so far for the Robins.
That one looks slightly high from Corey Patterson as he met Stephen Wild. Here comes the number 12 now, Andrew Dixon, another former St Helens man. Quick play the ball. Gleeson has space in which to run. He feeds Danny Williams. Williams escapes the tackle of Craig Hall, but straight into the 3-man tackle, and he's offloaded, and it's play on. and Rovers have some open field in which to run. Burns with the dummy, Burns goes through the gap, Burns jinks, he puts the kick ahead. Alex Brown, can he take it safely? He does, but he also takes the tackle of Gaskell, but a quick play the ball sees Liam Salter with a charge for the line. He's held up a metre short, and it's a penalty to the Robins. What an explosive start to the game for the Rovers. Travis Burns in magnificent form, showed good pace, good guile, and Rovers are already saying let's have another charge at that line. Liam Salter looks in difficulty over on the far side of the field, holding his shoulder. That's not good news. We'll keep an eye on that, but Rovers still pressing. Short ball to Mika. Mika goes over, but it's a forward pass, and that one won't count. Just 3.5 minutes played. Already it's going to be an eventful game. Liam Salter injury over there, Dan, and Mika with the no try.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right decision from Thierry Alibert. It did look forward out of the hands of Travis Burns, but Rovers expansive early on, aren't they? Travis Burns putting some great footwork on the Salford defence, and I think if they're gonna show gaps like that this early in the game, goodness knows what's going to happen when they're tired in this heat. So all bodes well for Rovers so far. No points on the board, but as you say, early doors, Robin, and good pressure from the Robins.
The ball's out and Salford have possession. 12 metres from their own line. The ball will be played to Geordie Broughton. You're rumoured to be signing for the Huddersfield Giants next season, which will be an interesting move, but still a Salford player as we speak. They have possession. Lifted slightly by Mika, who sensibly held onto the leg. They'll come down the middle now, will the Salford City Reds. That's Lee Jewett. Jewett met by a big tackle of Adam Walker. Those two know all about each other, both sent from the field in the game at Salford. That kick has forced David Hodgson into a decision, the former Salford man himself, and he's met just 10 metres from the Robins try line. Looks as though Salford may have the breeze advantage at their backs in this first half. Certainly looks to be the case, so if Rovers can get to half time with any semblance of a lead, and that's been lost by Craig Hall. Thierry Alibert looked at his touch judge and then made the call, and Rovers have turned over possession only 20 metres from their own line.
Yeah, Craig Hall, it was maybe a loose carry, but on another day you get the penalty from there, Robert. It really is a lottery, isn't it, these days in the tackle. So Thierry Alibert deciding that it was a little bit too much of a loose carry from Craig, and Rovers are going to have to see if they can defend their own line.
The ball's out, it's spun wide, and Hull Kingston Rovers have to set themselves defensively now. Mark Sneed, wearing 22, was probably man of the match in the game at Salford earlier in the season. That's an awfully slow play of the ball, because there's a Rovers man, Liam Salter, in the middle of the ruck. First real danger for the Robins now. Godwin's moving Salford from left to right. If they get the ball through the hands, Rovers may have some problems. It bounced. Play on, says the referee. I think the Rovers fans are saying it was touched, but Salford trying to pinch one through Theo Farge, the French standoff. Rovers stand firm. Mickey Payer making that latest tackle. Missed out pass finds Stephen Wild. Wild wrapped up, but still danger for the Robins. Godwin, will he go for the scoot? He's moved it centre field to Farge. Farge with the kick. Alex Brown needs to make a decision. A Salford man got hold of that, and I think they've got the ball down. Well, there's a decision for Thierry Alibert, the in-goal touch judge. He made movement down there as though the try had been scored, but Thierry Alibert, I think, has taken the decision away from him.
Yeah, and the reaction of the Salford supporting players suggested that there might be a decision, as you say, to make there, but credit to the referees, made a decision, he's stuck by that decision, and in Rovers' case it's a positive one, so good defence, you've got to say, from the Robins.
Strong run up the middle by Mika. Only 15 metres from his own post though. Rovers really need to bend this Salford line. Here's a man who can do that. It was Corey Patterson, and Craig Hall's lost possession for the second time consecutively, so Craig Hall has had an extremely shaky start to this game, and his side has got to defend once again in this, what must be something like 80 2-degree heat really takes the petrol out the tank. So Craig Sandercock will be concerned at this moment. Salford are pressing once again. That's a good tackle on Andrew Dixon. Second effort from Rovers could have been penalised, but Ali Burr allows the play to continue. Farge moves it wide. A missed out pass. Brown needs to make that tackle. It looked slightly forward. The fans thought it was, but Thierry Alibert didn't blow the whistle. Still Rovers are on their own line. Salford move it left to right again. They straighten it up, spinning the tackle. Grounded 10 metres out. Godwin chips it centre field to Lee Jewett. Jewett's grounded just 3-4 metres short on the last. They're going to go to the right hand side. Farge finds Gaskill. Gaskill with the kick. It's turned David Hodgson around. Hodgson did enough to get back and push that one dead. That could easily have been the opening score on the game. It was exactly 8 minutes played, and Hodgson saves the day.
Yeah, good defence from Rovers. You've got to say, good turn of pace from Hodgson to cover that, because he had 3 men bearing down on him looking for the score. So that's good work from him, but Rovers soaking up a bit of pressure, and as you say, Rob, in this heat, that's going to tell surely. If Salford have got anything about them, then they should post points with a couple more repeated sets.
Real test of nerve for Craig Hall the next time he touches the ball, having conceded possession on 2 occasions. Salford have the ball midway inside the Robins half. They've gone to the short side. Graham Horn, newly signed 2-year deal, he makes that tackle. They'll come up the middle once again. It's with Darryl Griffin. Oh, that's gone loose. Was it touched by a Rovers hand? It was, and it's play on. Theo Farge is wrapped up by Greg Eden, but Rovers have no numbers on this left-hand side. Surely that's the way Salford will go. Godwin goes himself. Godwin gets the touchdown. And that overwhelming weight of possession has gone against the Robins on 9 minutes of play. Wayne Godwin puts Salford into the lead by 4 points to 0.
Yeah, probably a well-deserved score as well, considering the pressure they've had, Rob. It's all about completion rates in the modern game of rugby league, isn't it? And Craig Hall's come up with a couple of errors. One maybe forced by the Salford defence, but the second one probably not so. And whether you're top 2 or bottom 2, Rob, with that amount of pressure in the opposition's try line, if you've got anything about you, you're going to post points, and Salford have done so. Like we said earlier, they might be bottom of the table, but with the players they've got out there on the day, they can pose a problem for any side in Super League, and Rovers have got to turn up with the right attitude, which I think they have done, to be fair, but they've just got to steady the ship and just crack on with what they were doing early doors.
Should be a relatively simple conversion attempt for Mark Sneed. Directly in front. Left-footed kicker, and Salford will go into an unexpected 6 points to 0 lead. Rovers, the form team in the Super League, but that counts for nothing. You have to perform on the day. And Salford, having survived some early Rovers pressure on the back of lost possession on 2 occasions from Craig Hall, they eventually broke the dam, and Godwin went in underneath the sticks. So it will be that man Hall who will restart this game. Drives it long and high. Certainly a wind advantage for Salford. That ball was hanging up as it got towards that end of the field. Good shot goes in from Con Meeker on Lee Jewett. There's the try scorer moving it to his left-hand side. The tackles come in. Salford have got to within 22 metres of their own line. They've gone short side once again to Ryan McGoldrick. He's grounded. Slow play of the ball. Drop off pass. Rovers are there in numbers. Meeker around the ankles. Walker up top. Centre field, the kick has turned David Hodgson round once again. He takes possession, but inside his own 10 metres, and then runs into the 2-man tackle led by Andrew Dixon. Craig Hall now. This time does manage to keep hold of possession. Ali Burr takes Salford back a decent 10. Alex Brown head was rocked back. That's play on, says Thierry Ali Burr. and Rovers have made a very sloppy start to this game. That's the free play. Hodgson gets it, but Salford will get head and feet at the scrum, and dare I say it, Dan, a degree of complacency around that Hulkingston Rovers side at this moment in time.
Yeah, maybe so, Rob, but like I say, a penalty now, another penalty is Rovers player speaking out of turn, so that's certainly not a good thing to do for the Robins.
Yep, Graham Horn had too much to say to Thierry Alibert, and for me I think Salford should probably take the 2 here. Away from home, but well, they must have some confidence because they're going to have another bash at the Rovers try line, so Daryl Griffin leads the way. Rovers need something here. They need a big hit or a mistake from Salford because Salford are looking full of confidence in this game. Here's the Frenchman, good ball. Good job that Gleeson had to just check as he received that ball. It allowed David Hodgson to get there. Farge again, buzzing around. Good defence this time by the Robins. They'll come short side. Gaskill just teasing, dropped his shoulder and went himself. They're only 5 metres out as Gleeson moves that ball back inside. It's with Jewett. Bounces off Mickey Payer. Reinforcements come in. And Lee Jewett is grounded 6 metres shy of that Rovers try line. It's with Sneed. He's gone towards Alex Brown. Brown with the catch. Geordie Broughton never really made a decent attempt there, and it allowed the Rovers wingman to take safe possession. Greg Eden with a long ball. It's been missed by Hall and knocked on. And Craig Hall is having an absolute nightmare at this moment in time. It was a long pass, but one you would expect a Super League player to take.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the brand of rugby that Rovers have been playing this season, isn't it, Rob? And we've come to expect it. Craig Hall, for me, really needs to take that ball in. Like you say, it's a speculative pass from Eden, but there's no pressure on the lad. He needs to just take that and sort of carry the play on. Someone just needs to put their arm around him, I think, and just tell him to ignore what's happening and just get on with what he's good at.
Gaskill takes possession from the scrum. Rovers have got to really work hard now. They've been pretty much defending for the last 10 minutes or so, and that will take its toll. Good tackle goes in on Andrew Dixon. Godwin directing operation, scoots, offloads. Farge with the ball. There's numbers for Salford. They went short, it looked forward, but the officials were happy for play to continue. Oh, there's an interception. It's gone backwards and it's play on. And nothing is going Rovers' way in this game so far. Salford have the tackle count wiped. That was a risky pass. It's taken by Daryl Griffin under pressure. But should Salford force the way over on this set, Rovers have got real problems in this game. It's with Farge again. He's offloaded despite the attentions of Corey Patterson. Gaskill goes himself. Oh, what an offload. Forward, so says the referee. Difficult from that position on the gantry, but we'll take it. It looks fine from here. And Salford come away disappointed because that would have been 10-0 and it would have been under the posts and Rovers would have trailed by 12.
Yeah, I'm with you, Rob. I called forward at first, but I think that was the Rovers fan in me, to be fair. Having a look at it properly, I think that was probably okay. Rovers just need to settle down now, get to the back of the set and get a kick downfield and get some confidence back in. Give Craig Hall the ball. He needs to take that ball back in before he loses any more confidence in this game, because it's the type of player he is, and he needs to give him something good to do, and he'll do it.
So Walker leading the charge is well met though. Daryl Griffin really put his shoulder in then. That's a slow play, the ball. That can only be in a cry dominant from the referee. Dobson looking to spread the play. That's a sloppy pass, it bounces. And Alex Brown is faced up by 3 defenders, goes down underneath the tackle of 2 of those. Dobson again, drop off pass to Mika, that's better. Con Mika looking to drive his way through the defence. Josh Hodgson kicks downfield. Salford, for the first time in a long time, are back inside their own half. Gaskill feeds Danny Williams, he takes a clout from Corey Patterson, and then Dobson comes in over the top and completes the tackle. Gleeson taking on Hall. Hall was around his neck. It could have easily been penalised, that one. Gleeson trying to use his experience to milk the penalty as Dixon beats the tackle of Dobson and Payer. They come back and get him with the second effort, but this just isn't the Hull Kingston Rovers side we've seen in recent weeks. They'll look very lethargic. Godwin finds the 22, that's Sneed. He turns around Alex Brown. Surely that one will go dead. It does indeed. 20-metre restart for the Robins. Just 17 minutes played. And some worrying signs out there. Dan, Rovers just need, I don't think they need to score, but they need to take the game back into Salford's half of the field and start dictating.
Yeah, they probably just need to complete a couple of sets, don't they, Rob? Get a bit of territory perhaps. I don't think that was a particularly bad defensive set from Rovers, because Salford only came 30-40 metres on the 6 tackles, so I just think they just need to settle down and get some points on the board perhaps, and then start playing some football, Rob.
Good step from Liam Salter. It opened up half a gap, but it was quickly closed down. Rovers are inside the Salford half. The skipper with the jing. Great play. Dobson finds Patterson, and Corey Patterson has stormed in for the Robins. First try of the afternoon for the Red and White. It was a beauty. Set up on a plate by Michael Dobson, and it's Hull Kingston Rovers 4, the Salford City Reds 6.
Yeah, brilliant play from the talisman Dobson. We're going to miss him out with Rob, but I think he's going to give us everything he can till the end of the season. I think in that very simple passage of play there, we've seen exactly where Rovers are going to beat Salford down the middle. I think just those little 1-2 plays with Dobson, Travis Burns and maybe Eden coming on that inside ball as well. I think he's going to absolutely rip Salford to pieces, because there's absolutely no excuse for that lazy tackling on their half. They've had to do nothing so far in nigh on 20 minutes defensively, and they shouldn't be as lazy as that in the middle. So if Josh Hodgson, Michael Dobson, Greg Eden, Travis Burns can get some plays on in the middle, then Rovers should bear fruit from it.
So that's exactly what Rovers needed. That will put some doubt into Salford's mind, because that was a real try of quality. Billy Mallinson just talking to Craig Hall as Rovers group in back play. The skipper Michael Dobson will surely level the scores up. Just over 10 metres out, just a smidgen to the left hand side of the uprights, and that one sails between the middle, and Rovers are back on level terms. It's Hull Kingston Rovers 6, the Salford City Reds 6, and that was just what Rovers needed.
And the group one for Hull Kingston Rovers, sponsored by JC Services and Sons, number 7, Michael Dobson.
So Gaskill on halfway will get this game back in underway. Just coming up to the first quarter played. Salford have probably edged it in terms of performance, but Rovers the latest team to score. Greg Eden takes possession from the restart and also takes the tackle 15 metres from his own line. Big Mickey Payer charges in, big collision. Drives Matty Ashurst and Stephen Wild back. Scruffy play the ball, but Thierry Alibert allows it to go. Josh Hodgson with the break. He fancies he's got the legs on Gaskill, but Gaskill did exceptionally well. He ran down the angle. I think perhaps Josh just took the wrong option. He perhaps should have checked, but he backed himself. He's got confidence. And if you are going to turn over possession, 30 metres from your opponent's line isn't too bad a place to do it.
No, and just what we were saying just a moment ago, isn't it, Rob? Just behind that ruck there, Salford really lazy. The gap, when it wasn't even a gap, was it? It was an absolute chasm for Josh Hodgson to go through. Support play on another day, and we're going into the sticks, don't we? It was just happened so. It was Mickey Peer on his inside, and I think he probably backed himself instead of giving it to the big Tongan. So, no, I'm happy with that from the Rovers. I think there's points to be scored, isn't there, Rob?
Well, Salford's defensive record isn't brilliant, even though they did win last week. They shipped some points against London. Danny Williams looking for some ball. It looks as though Salford are going to make their first change. They've brought on Adam Waln, who's a new name to me, must be one of the youngsters coming through at Salford. He's a big lad, wearing 35. Dixon takes the tackle, still inside Salford territory. Godwin given far too much room. Stephen Wild offloads in centre field, and it's the first touch for the substitutes. There's a Rovers man being left down. It's Travis Burns, so Rovers having to take this kick through Greg Eden, which he does safely, but then tackled a few metres from his own line. Travis looks as though he's okay. Has been playing through the pain barrier in recent weeks. The 2-week break to the Warrington game will certainly favour quite a few of these Rovers players who are carrying bumps and bruises. And Salford are asking the Robins to do the dirty work once again. Adam Walker, purposeful looking charge. He turns, looking to perhaps offload, but the cry of held goes up from the referee. Centre field, Richard Beaumont just works a few metres forward, but it's on the last. It's with Travis Burns. Will Rovers run it? They've gone for the dink through. It's going to fall for Travis. He's got a great ball to Salter, and Salter couldn't find his wingman Alex Brown, but that was pure quality once again from the Rovers number 6, and Salford just managing to close down the Rovers centre 20 metres from their own try line.
Yeah, it's brilliant play, as I say. Salford coming up fairly quickly on that, and Travis spotting that great little kick to back himself. Good ball out to Salter. Salter for me needs to be aware of the last tackle there and either put a little dink forward or just throw a little speculator out to his winger. There's nothing to lose in that position, is there? And good signs though, Rob. Good signs, good building for Rovers, and Salford having to turn and do a bit more defending than they have been early on in the game.
That's danger there because Geordie Broughton has possession, and that guy can certainly gallop. Salford in possession but still inside their own half. 3-man Rovers defensive wall halts the ball carrier, still 12 metres inside. The ball is Jacob Emmett now with the step-in run. On halfway, Rovers have got the backs turned, but Gaskill has gone for a kick. Rovers just want to watch that one. That's been pushed back, so it's play on. Farge is trying to escape Craig Hall. That was forward. That was forward, and it's been spotted. Stanley Jean is absolutely berating this touch judge down on the Roger Millward stand side. I think everybody in the stadium saw that, and well, eventually the decision was called correctly.
I don't know, Rob. I mean, we don't see it very often from a forward pass, but I think he was probably even offside from that because he didn't come from a backwards position. He was in front of the player and just took the ball, so should have probably been a penalty, but we'll take that. We've got a penalty now. We're messing about at the in the ruck, so yeah, some good position for Rovers now.
Craig Hall will look to find around 20 metres with this kick. Adam Walker takes a breather. Rhys Lovegrove's going to enter the fray any time now. Corey Patterson, first driving, goes himself. He had Beaumont and Dobson on his right shoulder. Jason Netherton's the man who's replaced Adam Walker. Rovers go short side. Well, they look to go short side, then at the last minute, Hodgson switched it to the run of Beaumont. They've gone up the middle once again. Dobson to Burns. Oh, that's gone down. That should be play on. And Geordie Broughton has taken Salford over the advantage line. I think Graham Horn was the man who put that ball down, so just perhaps the cohesion not quite there. Every time Rovers get down into that danger zone, they are making mistakes. That was a lazy arm which could have been penalised. Salford come up the middle of the field. What Jason Netherton will do, he will close down the middle of the field as Gaskill kicks deep, spinning off the outside of his boots. David Hodgson will have to play that one. Gret takes it a metre from his own line. Big shot goes in. He almost spins away though. There's the Rovers number 5. And well, this just shows the heat today, Dan. Both sets of players are just struggling to set up the defensive line and also get themselves back behind their own ball carriers.
Yeah, it must be absolutely terrible to have to play. I mean, I walked to the shop for some bacon this morning, Rob, and I was sweating on the way back, and that was early this morning, so you can only imagine as Dobson puts a 40-20 kick in, it's not going to make it
Well, it's got a chance, and there's a good chase from the Rovers scrum half. Gaskell's there, and Gaskell is taken down 15 metres from his own line. I think the decision Dobson made then was, let's play the game in this half of the field. Salford having far too much territory, and the Rover skipper wants to swing the pendulum his side's way as another big shot goes in on Dixon. Held, cries Thierry Alibert. They've gone short side to Gleeson. Gleeson, experienced player, will still have some quality, but perhaps has seen better days now. Oh, and he's milked one there. He's absolutely done Thierry Alibert. All ends up then as Gleeson. The dying swan routine, and it's bought his side a penalty.
Yeah, well, you almost called it, Rob, didn't you? That's the experience that Gleeson brings. He knows Thierry Alibert. He knows what type of referee he is. The ball was on the floor before Gleeson even thought about getting up off the ground, so there's a penalty already, and then a knock on, but as you say, knows the ref played, the ref got the penalty.
27 minutes played, still 6-all. Tries to Godwin and Patterson, and 2 conversions as Salford though have numbers over on that side. Alex Brown's come in. Geordie Broughton's been shadowed by a whole host of Rovers defenders as Gaskell's down in back play. He's took an absolute clattering, but Rovers have defending to do. That was a great offload. Farge goes for glory, but what he's done is sucked in Rovers defenders, and they have barged the way underneath the sticks once again, and it's the second try to the Salford City Reds. Rovers were simply caught on numbers. It may be Stephen Wild, the skipper, who's gone over, and Salford lead by 10 points to 6.
Yeah, we said earlier, didn't we, that Salford have got everything you really want from a team going forward. They've got some great attacking players, some great pace out wide. Lee Gaskell's taken a knock off Alex Brown for his troubles when throwing, for me, what was a forward pass, Rob, to be honest. So, I mean, on the back of a forward pass and a play the ball that probably should have been penalised as well, Salford go on and score. But, as we say, you've got to only defend what's in front of you. You can't worry about these decisions. We can as fans and commentators, but players have just got to play what's there, and Rovers didn't come up with the goods at the end of the day, did they?
And that try can be traced back to the penalty won by Martin Gleeson, 10 metres inside his own half. Wild is confirmed as the scorer, and with the position he's gone in underneath the post, Rovers once again will trail by 6 in this game. The flags are raised. Hull Kingston Rovers 6, the Salford City Reds 12. Just over 11 minutes remaining in this first half. And to be fair to Salford, Dan, when they do get down into the Rovers 20, they are enterprising. They look to move the Rovers defence one way then the other, but simply then the numbers down the middle were nowhere to be seen, and a big man like Stephen Wild just bulldozed his way over.
Absolutely, Rob. You can't fault Salford in attack, can you? I mean, they're bringing more to attack than Rovers are at the moment. It's got to be said. And looking at the scoreboard, you've got to assume that they're defending better as well.
So can Rovers keep the Reds, the Salford City Reds, that is, down inside their own quarter? That's a good tackle though, down by Graham Horn. Quick play of the ball though. Ryan McGoldrick trying to fend Rovers players off, but Beaumont made the initial contact, and it was Josh Hodgson who completed. I think Rovers need to look at bringing Lincoln Withers onto the field. I think his craft and guile may just cause Salford some problems. The kick downfield is by the fullback once again, who looks as though he's recovered from that knock, Lee Gaskell. And Rovers have got to set up 20 metres from their own line. This set has got to be error-free. Rovers can't afford to cough up possession inside their own half of the field, because when Salford do get the ball, they are looking dangerous this afternoon. Well, Rovers weren't even sure what the move was then. I don't think Reece Lovegrove was even expecting that was coming his way. At the last minute, he set off on the charge, and that was a dreadfully slow play of the ball. Salford, some big guys now in the middle of the field. This Substitute Adam Wall and Jacob Emmett. Dobson, ball around the back to Greg Eden. He finds Craig Hall. Hall tries to run over the top of Theo Farge. 8 metres inside the opposition's half. Corey Patterson feeds Richard Beaumont. He steps and then collides with 3 defenders. Will Rovers test the fullback here? Dobson, left-footed, is gone to the air. It looks too deep to me, but there's a good chase from Eden. Oh, and he's lost it, but lost it backwards. And that could easily have gone Rovers' way. Lee Gaskill didn't look confident then. And I think you may be right, Dan, that knock is taken. I don't think he's fully recovered from it, has he? He's holding his right knee, and his afternoon may be cut short very soon.
Yeah, he's generally quite a sprightly lad, even for his size, isn't he, Rob? But he wasn't moving at all towards the ball then, and he just didn't seem confident under that kick. A great kick from Dobson nonetheless, and a good chase, as you say, but I think he's the man to pepper at the moment with these kicks. Better attacking set from Rovers as well. I just think Rovers need to win the floor a bit more in defence, because Thierry Alibert's allowing the time on the ground, isn't he?
Well, Salford have taken off Wayne Godwin, so that's a strange one. It looks as though Ashley Gibson may be playing hooker. He was certainly in that dummy half then, wearing the number 3 shirt. Josh Hodgson's going to take a breather, and the one I called for, Lincoln Withers, he's the man who'll come on. So as we approach half time, just under 8 minutes remaining of it, this first half, Lincoln Withers will get Rovers moving forward, that's for sure.
Number 3, Ashley Gibson, replacing number 8, Lee Jewett. 27.
Dobson now, drop off pass finds Lovegrove. He spots half a gap and goes for it. Closed down by Dixon and Wild. Quick play the ball. Dobson fires the ball to Hall. Hall steps over the defenders. He offloads to Patterson. Great play from the Robins. Could be a penalty, should have been. 1 tackle remains. Dobson feeds Burns. Burns goes himself. He's offloaded. It's kicked back, but then taken by McGoldrick. And was Burns greedy then? Should he have fed Eden? Eden was running at pace. Would surely have crashed over, but he backed himself. And in the end, it comes to nothing, and it looks as though Graham Horn is taking a knock. He's just limping back into the defensive line. But half chances, Dan, in a game which looks as though potentially could be a tight one. Hopefully we're not going to ruin at the end of 80 minutes.
Yeah, it's one of those, wasn't it? Them split-second decisions can make a difference in a game. Another day, then Travis goes straight through and dots under the post. No!
He's gone backwards. Oh, and he's called it. Yeah, that play on. I think he got the word in his ear, did Thierry Alibert. And Craig Hall with some good work. That was forward. What was Lincoln Withers thinking of? Well, I give him the big build-up, but for a player of his experience, that was absolutely shocking. Composure in your opponent's half of the field. And Lincoln Withers showed absolutely none.
I think it was maybe a missed time run from Beaumont, Rob, the way that the rest of the players are looking, and Beaumont himself is looking, but Withers with his skill and his experience needs to just have a look up and know that that's the wrong pass, especially on the back of a bit of a dodgy decision in your favour. The ref's always going to be looking to even it up, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, of course.
So you have to say it's a pretty error-ridden game, this one. Rovers really are lacking in quality in this first half, and well, just looking at the time remaining in this half, 5.5 minutes, I think the important thing for now is that they don't concede a third score to the Salford City Reds. The East Stand crying forward, and Thierry Alibert is not interested. Gibson is certainly playing hooker. That's a real strange tactic from Brian Noble, but he's powerfully built, is Ashley Gibson. Salford now trying to put the moves on. They've created an extra man. Gleeson shimmies, turns Dobson around. David Hodgson needs to make that tackle. He does well, does the Robins number 5. Needs to clear the ruck now, can't concede a penalty. Danny Williams tries to run at Dobson, looks for the offload, but the tackle was made by Jason Netherton. Last tackle, so Theo Farge goes to the air. Greg Eden's there. He goes up like a salmon, he takes it, and he defuses the bomb superbly. There's the Rovers fullback, Alex Brown. trying to just earn some valuable metres for his side. Held up 9 metres from his own line over on that far right-hand side of the field. The big forwards need to start punching some holes. Rhys Lovegrove and Corey Patterson in particular out on the fringes. Salford had encroached a metre then as Graham Horn took possession. Midway inside Rovers half. Withers, can he make up for that mistake he made? Good shot goes in from Adam Waln, the 35. Dobson, he had to stoop for that one and he's gone for the kick and it's sailed out on the full. I think the fact that he had to balance himself to take possession was what put him off balance for the kick, if that makes sense. And Rovers have turned over possession 10 metres inside their own half with 3.5 minutes remaining in this first half.
Yeah, I just think Salford have been a bit more savvy in their defence, Rob, to be honest, because they've recognised that the referee's going to let you just hold down. That it's a really, really slow play of the ball and not one penalty coming from it. Salford are holding Rovers down there and making them take their time in playing the ball. Rovers aren't doing that, and that's something they need to look at, I think.
Farge delays the pass. Sneed brings in the run and that looked a forward pass. The cry went up, but the officials allowed play to continue. Salford are doing absolutely everything at pace. The offload was by Jacob Emmett and it's turning Rovers around. Gibson goes himself, held up by the tackle of Patterson, dumped onto his back. That extra few seconds will allow the defensive line to set itself. They've gone centre field. It's with Sneed. Oh, juggled with the ball then did Gaskill, and Rovers get shirts there. One tackle remains. This could be crucial. Rovers cannot afford to concede before half time. There's the kick. Oh, it's a clever one. And they've got the ball down. Ali Bear is going to award the try. A set move on the last tackle. Rovers caught napping, and Salford now lead this game by 16 points to 6. 2 minutes remaining, 38 minutes gone, and Craig Sandercock has got to shake this side up.
Yeah, you've got to say Rovers looking really lethargic, aren't they, Rob? You've got to wonder if that bug that's been running through the club this week has maybe hit more players than it certainly looks like it has anyway. But the player that took the ball was maybe a yard offside for me, but it doesn't take away from the kick pressure from Rovers, and just the general enthusiasm from Salford is just overwhelming at the moment, isn't it? And it's that's taking them forward, and that they're beating Rovers fair and square. You've got to say, Rob, certainly don't look like a bottom 2 side, and Rovers at the moment, you've got to say, don't look like a top 6 side.
I thought this game had banana skin on it all week, in fairness. You know, those great wins, but then you hear the news of players dropping like 9 pins. Matty Ashurst was the confirmed try scorer by Neil Rudd. And that's really pleased the taxi full of Salford fans over on the far side. I'm being a bit unfair, it's a minibus. But Mark Sneed will put Salford into an 18-6 half-time lead. And that has gone totally against the script going into this game. Rovers have got to galvanise themselves. 18-6 is the scoreline. Stanley Jean trots on to give some instruction. And I'm sure Craig Sandercock's already in the dressing room waiting to tear into his side, who have been poor. Let's try to dress this up with fatigue and sickness. You still can catch a ball when you're not feeling too clever. That kick from Hall looks too strong. And Craig Hall is just having one of those afternoons that players dread. Penalty on halfway, 34 seconds remaining. I think they'll go for the 2 here, Dan.
Yeah, they've got the wind, haven't they? I mean, with the wind against you, and maybe the wind dipped, maybe we're being kind to Craig. He certainly didn't get the height that he's been getting on his kick-off so far, but like you say, Rob, it's been one of them afternoons, particularly for Craig Hall, hasn't it? And I think they just need to get in the sheds, whatever scoreline it is at half-time. Rovers have got the quality and they've got the personnel to overturn a 12 or 14 point lead against anyone. But they just need to get in the sheds now, regroup, have a word with each other, have a word with themselves as well, and come out all guns blazing in the second half and put a real good 40 in.
So the half-time hooter has blown. This will be the final action of this first half. A half in which Hull Kingston Rovers have left themselves with work to do. Mark Sneed looking to make it a 3-score advantage for his side. Salford looking to complete the double over Rovers, and at this stage they're looking likely to do so. He's on halfway, but he has got the breeze at his back. He's given it an almighty crack, but it's wide. So the players will go into the dressing rooms at half-time with the Salford City Reds leading by 18 points to 6. They opened the scoring on 9 minutes of play. Craig Hall had lost possession twice for the Rovers, and eventually it led to the position which saw Wayne Godwin going underneath the post. Mark Sneed with the conversion to make it 6-0. Rovers, they responded on 19 minutes. A fantastic step and run by Michael Dobson. He had Corey Patterson in support, and the big man raced into the left-hand side of the post. Dobson with the conversion, and it was 6 points all. On 28 minutes, following a penalty really milked by Martin Gleeson, you have to say, once again they caught Rovers short on numbers defensively, and Stephen Wild crashed over. Sneed made it 12-6. Then on 38 minutes, Rovers not guilty again of not respecting possession, conceding territory. The kick on the last was caught by Matty Ashurst. Rovers defenders had gone to sleep. Sneed converted. That penalty was missed on halfway, right on the stroke of half-time. So at MS3 Craven Park, it's not good news. Rovers are trailing this one by 18 points to 6.